It's May 2018 in T1 Stadium. Both teams sit down to play a regular season game in the LCK, but what both of these teams don't know is that they were about to be part of history. They were about to embark on the longest League of Legends game in history. League of Legends at its core is a pretty simple game. The goal is to get kills, take objectives, and finally finish it off by killing the enemy nexus. Even with League of Legends being over 10 years old at this point and getting more and more complicated with different metas and gameplay styles, everything has always come down to killing the enemy nexus, even in pro play. 2018 was a wild year meta-wise, having an average game length of around 45 minutes. This was due to many factors that we'll go into detail later, but how did one game double the average of that season? 2018 was chock full of heavy scaling team comps with champions like Kassadin, Ornn, Azir, and even Sivir being played all the time. All of these were champs that were picked in this game, creating a perfect storm for creating a super long game. The teams that were playing at the time was SKT T1 Telecom and Jin Green Wings. We all know T1 as the most historic org in League of Legends, as at the time they still had Faker of course, but also had Bang, Effort, Wolf and Tai. They were considered favourites in this matchup, but Jin Green Wings had an ace up their sleeve, and that was their star AD carry Teddy, who was considered by many as one of the greatest ADCs coming from Korea. So if they wanted a chance in this game, they would have to support him as much as possible. The champ Teddy was put on was Sivir. This character has a weak early, but once fully scaled, they are a late game monster. So the game plan was clear for them. They wanted to try and outscale their enemies, and the main problem was, both teams wanted to do the same thing. So early on, nothing happened because of that. With matchups like Azir and Kassadin in the mid lane, no one ever had that kill threat, meaning that they just farmed and farmed and farmed some more, which led to only having 3 kills happen in the first 26 minutes. One of those kills came down to a tower dive by the Green Wings onto Bang, the ADC of T1. They played it well, baiting out Ezreal's movement ability before using Azir's ultimate to secure the kill, but the thing I found most interesting was look at the summoner spell Azir took. He took heal. Tell me the last time you had a mid laner take heal, because I can't remember a single one. In our current meta, League runes are pretty set for mid lane. It's either TP or Ignite. There's no real ifs and buts about it, and this difference could be a huge consequence on how long a game lasts. Take for example a playing mid where you're about to kill someone. If you didn't have Ignite, you would have never gotten the kill and the extra gold to snowball the game. The same goes for TP, as if you never took TP, you could have never found this flank in the team fight to win you the game. There are so many more examples than the 2 I just explained on why summoner spells have such a huge impact, but in this game, heal and the choice of safe runes such as Ares and Guardian had a huge impact on game length as no one could kill each other. And joining else like else that's unkillable, my devotion towards this YouTube channel, so if you are enjoying the content, please make sure to like and subscribe. Seriously, it does a lot here. I'm still trying to reach that 1,000 subscriber mark hold. However, we'll get back to the video now. There is one caveat. They still had the Elder Dragon back in the day. This objective was added to help people finish off games that were at a standstill. On a paper, it was great, but it just spawned at 35 minutes. The issue is that it spawned at 35 minutes. Seriously, imagine now a game ending objective spawned that late. It couldn't be possible, especially in pro play today. This caused the problem of everyone being full build or close to it. Remember that I mentioned before about Sivir? When she full scales, she can insta-clear waves. She can even do that with siege minions. So at this point, even though they have themselves Elder Dragon or even Baron, it just doesn't matter. Teddy on Sivir can just clear these waves again and again and again. And at that point, T1 had no possibility of ever finishing off this game. And this brings us to another point. It was ADC meta back in 2018, as then they played a much bigger role than what they do now. This was when you could 2 versus 5 a whole team if you were good enough with your support. It wasn't quite the ardent sensor meta, but it was pretty damn close. The big thing about ADCs is they like to scale, like a lot. An ADC player would rather farm till 40 or even 50 minutes to make sure that they could get full items, leading to a game state lasting a lot longer. I can't say that if this was part of Riot's reasoning for putting the ADC champ pool into the gutter, but it's most likely had some part to do with it, as now you can see champs take over the game like Zeri, but you mostly see Ashes and other utility champs that can help out the team without having to be the main carry. But with all that combined, and seeing the issues Riot has fixed throughout the years to make shorter game times, how did this game end? 93 minutes in, it came down to one mistake, and I hate to say it, it was Faker. Death timers at this point were 80 seconds long, so if anyone died, it could be game over. And Faker tried to catch one bot lane wave too many when he tried to escape using Castin's art, which he did, but he didn't notice that Kha'Zix was around the corner, so he got jumped on and got assassinated, giving Jin Greenwings an opportunity to end the game, which they took. So in total, the game lasted for 94 minutes and 35 seconds. I don't think this record will ever be beaten, as players have got much better in the game, and most importantly, Riot has made so many changes to make the games end quicker by adding stuff such as Void Grubs and Adakan, making kill times a whole lot shorter. I'm actually quite curious about what you guys think about 2018 League of Legends compared to now, because I know a lot of you guys who watch these videos have been around for a long time. But that is going to be it for the video. I hope you did enjoy, and I know this is a bit different from the usual content I make, and it kind of turned into a rant. But with new pro games coming out next season pretty soon, I will be going back to the usual content, but please make sure to like and subscribe, and I wish you the best of luck in your solo queue games. And also, if you enjoyed this content, take a look at the video I made on Afromu's career. It's one of my favorites.